Good morning. It is May 24, 2022. We'll call to order a meeting of the Story County Board of Supervisors. Please stand with me if you're able and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have no minutes to consider today, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt today's agenda with that exception.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin.
Aye.
Heavens. Aye. Basil. Aye. Now is time for public comment number one. This comment period is for the public to address topics on today's agenda. And I believe we have Michelle Kasbon here.
Thank you. And I also have Jordan Coates join. We are representing Nevada Economic Development today. Closer.
Yeah, everyone go ahead and have a seat.
Okay. And I appreciate you moving this up on the agenda. This really is not normally on your agenda item, but we are here today because we'd like to extend an invitation to you all. As you know, in the past, we have had a board of supervisors sit on NEDC. However, things have changed structurally with the organization the last few years. And with the new structure, we think it would be very beneficial if we had one of you join us as a regular member of NEDC. We meet the last Wednesday of the month at 7 a.m. We switched to an investment structure, and we feel that you guys are an investor of our organization. Obviously, we've been partnering quite a bit with you all in a lot of things. And so having you sitting at the table and knowing what's going on in our community, in the county as well, as you know, with our partnership with AEDC, we're not just Nevada Economic Development anymore. Jordan, I don't know if there's something you'd like to add.
No, you know, we were at a conference together, and you brought up a very valid point that we need to get more engaged, and we need to include you guys on economic development rather than the last stop. We need to have you at the beginning as well. So we really want to extend this offer to you. That way you can we can get you more involved in everything and be aware of everything that's going around in the community.
And so we understand you can't take action today, but as if you can among yourselves, the one thing that we do ask is consistency, because we do have, we'd like to have just one person designated because we have confidentiality agreements that we sign. And so it just makes it simpler. And so we've asked every organization that's at the table to just have one designated representative. Not that that can't change, and then we can go through that process, but ideally having one person at the table on a regular basis works best for us. I'd entertain any questions you have about NEDC.
Yeah, the confidentiality. What is that?
What does it entail?
Yes.
Because there are projects that come before us that they're being vetted, and so that information is not public yet. And so that is why that we have the confidentiality agreement, because we do not want to jeopardize potential projects that are coming to our community.
Does the agency have a similar one?
Yep.
They do.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep. I think it's pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can maybe just tell us what the process, if we need to send a formal invitation or how to move forward for you guys to take action would probably be beneficial to us as well.
An invitation might not be a bad idea.
Yeah,
Since
then we
this
can
is
put it
not
on
on the
the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
So just
great.
a written invitation would be the proper procedure to
Yeah.
send it to you.
Yeah.
And that way
Yeah.
it can be acted on.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
We look forward to working with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy the day
You too. Have a good day.
before it rains, right?
Yeah, right. Anyone else who would like to make public comment, please step forward to the table or raise your hand on Zoom. Seeing no one, will close public comment number one and move on. We have no agency reports, again, no minutes. Consideration of personnel actions.
I move approval of personnel actions as listed.
I second the motion.
Moved and seconded. Heavens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. consideration of claims.
I'm sorry, I move adoption for approval of claims assistance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin.
Aye.
Hens. Aye. Musil. Aye. Consent agenda.
On consent agenda, but I was not going to pull anything. I think approval of consent agenda items as listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Hens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Musil. Aye. With no public hearing items, additional items, we have discussion and consideration of resolution 22-70, Stensland's Partnership Subdivision. Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Board. How are you?
Good. How are you? Good.
So we have a residential parcel subdivision for you today. So the applicant is Mike Evans, the property owner. It's the Evans family and then also the Stensland family. I'll go on to the next slide. It's located just north of Huxley. It is within their 2-mile boundary, so they did provide us with a resolution that they're okay with it. So the subject property sits right now as a 40-acre piece. The discoloration of that parcel right there is where they've built a new house. And so the purpose of this is to separate that house from the rest of the farmland. So that's where they built the house, and then the rest of it will stay in agricultural production. They both have their own existing accesses. There is a 60-foot stream easement that was provided over the stream that runs through the south portion of Lot 2. There's also already base flood elevation there as well. That's listed on the plat. And then there is the 50-foot utility easement for the gas line that runs across their property. All that's contained on Lot 2. So Lot 1, where the house is, doesn't have anything related to that. There's 34 parcels within a half mile of the property. 6 of those contain single-family dwellings. 23 of them meet or exceed the 35-acre minimum to construct a house in the A1 district. So there's all of our normal regulations. It meets all of the land division requirements. We sent out interagency review on January 19th. No other departments had any comments. We did ask the surveyor to update a few things on the plat, like showing all the districts and things, which they did, and putting the base flood elevation on there. And then there's just a couple of things and some of the legal documents that had to be scrivener errors that just had to be updated. And then on March 22nd was the day that Huxley passed the resolution, being okay with the division. So as far as this goes, meets all the development regulations. There's a lot of people listed on that deed through the state. Everyone's signed. So those are all accounted for. It's just to separate that house from the rest of the land. No plans to develop Lot 2. And any additional divisions of lots created through would not be permitted through this again. So this is one and done situation. With that being said, Story County Planning and Development staff recommends the approval of the Stensland Partnership Subdivision, residential parcel subdivision plat as proposed under option 1. Do you all have any questions?
So it's gonna be separate owners, that's why it's the division.
Yeah, it's still within the family. I mean, the names are different. Evans and Sten, there's marriage, that's just to separate that land.
Separate the land. So
Yeah,
it's
so-
separately.
Yeah, because they just built the house. So then we go from that construction mortgage to the final. It's easier when it's on a way smaller piece of land than the full 40. So
And there could be a house built on the other 35.
Correct, because it is a residential parcel, so
Mhm.
in the future, at some point, they could, there's no plans for, they just continue farming it, so. But that would be it. If they were to build another house,
That would be the
they would
end.
be able to do
Yeah.
this again to make any additional buildable lots, so.
Questions? Any additional questions? on it?
No, I do not have any questions. I would move the approval of resolution 22-70, the Stensland Partnership subdivision.
Moved and seconded, Merkin.
Aye.
Hens. Aye. Basil. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, board. You have a good day.
You too. Okay, next, we have discussion and consideration of Story County's participation and sponsorship of the Ames Juneteenth celebration. I brought this forward last week, was not quite prepared to answer some of the questions that you brought forward, so I wanted to bring it back today. So I believe one of the questions was whether any of the other participants or vendors are going to be charged to have tables there. No, they're not. They're not being charged. There was also a question about the public purpose. So I walked through an exercise of that. And the public purpose is to educate others on Juneteenth, to provide support and an opportunity to make a difference for all of the residents in Story County. It's for the greater good of Story County. Again, I'm not doing a very good job of articulating.
I think you did a very good job in your note,
Thank you.
and I learned some things from it. Honestly, did not know it was in code file. So that was new information.
And it's a federal holiday.
It's a federal holiday, so just recently, but
Mhm.
yes.
Right, but yeah, it's a recognition of the formal end of slavery.
I, just in terms of what we've done earlier this year, we sponsored the Story County's NAACP banquet. And we did not at that time say that the money was going for, we just said this is a sponsorship, we left that up to those folks. I see the way you've presented this, you're doing the same thing, that's up to the people who are doing it, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm actually more comfortable with that than I am with it saying we would do we go to a certain vendor. So I'm feeling, you did a lot of good work on this and I appreciate it.
I had some help from staff who are just absolutely amazing, helping put this together.
Yeah, I feel a lot better about it as well. One, you also checked into other sponsors. So that was helpful to know who else was sponsoring it. And yeah, that we weren't funding books and ice cream truck. Yeah, took that out and did the broader.
I just want to say how much I appreciate the fact that we can talk about things. I feel like I have an opportunity to learn every single time I sit down here. And I appreciated the questions that were raised because it will help me moving forward. So that was my thought was I needed to have something that was clear that where the funds were going to, and did not understand that would add an extra piece of complication to the decision in that moment. But I really feel like this is an incredibly important event that we need to be participating in, and the county needs to be participating in it. And if we're going to ask other organizers to allow us to participate, then we should be willing to financially support the event, because there is a cost associated with having entertainment and having supplies and providing opportunities for people to come together and celebrate. So I appreciate the consideration.
I would move that we approve participation and sponsorship in the celebration, the allocation of the $1,000, and that we have a table.
Second the motion.
Moved and seconded. Hess.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Baseball. Aye. Thank you. One other thing I forgot. I did talk to Lisa Markley about where to have the funding come from. I think she said she needed to have it in motion as a couple of motion. From general funds.
General funds.
I move to amend the motion to include the source of funding being general funds.
Second.
And seconded, Merkin. That's a side. Basil, aye. Thank you. All right, departmental reports. We have conservation's quarterly report. Do we, Mike?
No, it's a submitted report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, submitted. Yeah. Oh, I see that. Okay, moving on into nothing for other reports, upcoming agenda items. Now it's time for public comment number 2, comments from the public on items not on this agenda. The board may not take any action on the comments due to requirements of open meetings law, but may do so in the future. Anyone wishing to make public comment, feel free to step forward to the table or raise your hand on Zoom. Seeing no one step forward, we'll close public comment number 2 and move on to liaison assignments, committee meeting updates, and announcements from the supervisors. Supervisor Merkin?
Yeah, busy week for the rest of the week. This afternoon at the Story County Historical Alliance meeting in Story City. And I have an Ames area MPO meeting tonight. Tomorrow morning, a joint from Story Drainage. Then I will go to Rome for headwaters of the South Skunk WMA meeting. In the afternoon, we are going to start interviews for the emergency management coordinator position. And we'll be interviewing for the rest of the week. So Thursday afternoon, I'll be at a meeting later afternoon in Gilbert on the Urban Fringe. So that's gonna finish off the week, and then we're going to Memorial Day weekend. And it looks like it's gonna be a lovely one.
So I too at the Historical Museum meeting this afternoon. Tonight I have the incident command training here. Tomorrow I have the Drainage District meeting, then I have a meeting over at the HSC building. I'm gonna also zoom into the state of Iowa's, their webinar on the child care employer grant incentive. Yeah, I want to listen to that. Thursday, I have a CICS meeting, and as I have on my calendar to attend the Urban Fringe meeting. With nothing yet Friday, but I'm sure today's in a Tuesday.
It's early.
Friday we'll have some meetings.
Yeah, I have many of those same, the Historical Society and Incident Command training this evening. Drainage District tomorrow morning. Thursday is the first NIPA meeting that I'll be attending in Des Moines, Thursday morning. And then Thursday evening, I will not be able to attend the Urban Fringe outreach session. I'll be in a CFR board meeting. Friday, I have Central Iowa Juvenile Detention. Busy week, but good week. Anything further?
We adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Hens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Basil, aye. We are adjourned.